What's happening, Maddie? What's going on, Pumpkin? Soon as I can get the video to play. Hey, there we go. It was only 15 times, Ben. It's acceptable. YouTube is up too. If you want a better viewing experience, click on the link in the page. It is 1,000 times better to watch on YouTube, not to mention your chat. I can tell you right now, Ross, I'm not taking questions like that, so thanks. Creep. Yeah, go to YouTube. I don't know why we're still using Facebook, but that's fine. Instantaneous chat, better video quality. Everything's better. Shouldn't have pinned that comment because now I can't see anything. I hope so. I'd like to retire. I had a few comments to make on some nonsense this week. First and foremost, I know, I'm wearing shorts. I apologize. It's my fault. First things first, quick release schedule, release info. Tomorrow, Optic Baseball, 2020 Optic Baseball, 2020 Top Sterling. If you haven't seen Top Sterling yet, I mean, it's like definitive on steroids from the little bit I've seen. It looks absolutely ridiculous. There's supposed to be like a couple 101s, bat knobs, bat barrels per case. It's an 8-box case. We're going to do them by the box because I don't even think I got a full case. I have a feeling it's going to be just insane. Actually, like a good, really good high-end product for once, which would be kind of nice. How much is a box of Sterling? Like $800, $900. I think they're over 900 on Blowout. I haven't checked yet. Crazy expensive. I'll see where Blowout that will go. The other thing I wanted to talk about quick, because I was on that podcast with that guy Drew yesterday. This whole Louis Smith, I don't know what the dude's name is. Molina, the guy who was doing the prep for cards and cleaning and all that stuff. I've seen this everywhere the past 2 or 3 days. Everybody's just copied and pasted. What up, donuts? Everybody's just been copying and pasting the same thing. Like, if you use this guy, don't send him anymore. He alters cards. He was actually on the podcast yesterday. I don't even remember the name of it. I forget because I'm not worth, you didn't miss much. I was on there for like 3 minutes. You could tell they were annoyed right off the bat. These are people who like to have like civil conversations and agree, and everybody's awesome for the hobby, and just a very fake. To me, I like Drew, but I'll be honest with you, I have no use for that type of a format where everybody just sits around and tickles themselves and tells everybody how great they are. I mean, anyways, Molina was on there though. I'll say this: I've never used that dude for grading. Apparently, he cleans up autos. Like, he can take, if it goes off card, he'll kind of clean up the edge so it doesn't run off the card, get you a better grade, whatever. Just so we're clear, talk about a group of people who are totally full of crap. Bulk subs, anybody who does grading, I'll be honest with you, maybe there's somebody who doesn't do this, just full of crap. I mean, I love how every grader has the same post now. We're not taking anything from this guy. He's horrible for the hobby. He's altering cards. He's a bad person, blah, blah, blah. I say what you want. I don't know what he does. I know he was like waxing cards, which I don't understand that process at all. I know he can clean up autos. If there's scratches, he'll take scratches off. I think it's hilarious. Graders, let me just explain how this process worked. Everybody, I say everybody, a lot of the big guys, especially with Chrome, send their cards to Molina. He cleans them. He does whatever he's got to do so that card will gem. He then will send them right to the grader for you. All the big graders were getting tons of stuff from this guy. They just were. In turn, graders loved it because, oh, perfect. These cards are going to grade higher. I'm going to have a better grade rate. We're going to get more gems because this dude's doing it, right? Now, all of a sudden, because some of his stuff got popped at PSA, there's this whole, that's exactly what it is, Jared. A bunch of guys just virtue chasing. Oh, this is horrible for the hobby. It's hilarious to me that everything is okay until PSA says it's wrong, and now all of a sudden all these guys have this white knight stance. This is exactly what I said yesterday on that podcast, too. I think so many people There are just so many people in this hobby who are disingenuous. Everybody wants to be righteous and awesome and just be, oh, let's condemn this guy and get. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I don't really care. I'll say this: at the very least, yesterday he's one of the only people who was not totally spineless. He literally said on this podcast yesterday, "I'm not going to tape it anymore, but I'm going to keep doing it. Like I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm going to keep doing it because I don't think it's wrong." Made no apologies at all. I didn't see him apologize anywhere on Facebook. I'll be honest, whether you agree or disagree, I can at least give the guy this. He has some spine, and spine has been the one thing that has been missing in this hobby and still is. There is no transparency, and almost everybody is spineless, period. So you like Luis Molina, you hate him. Some of the guys on the podcast yesterday have never used him. That's fine. If you've never used him, no problem. And if you always thought that was wrong and you've held the opinion, fine. But you can't benefit from this guy getting better grades for your stuff. And now all of a sudden, he's the devil because his stuff got hit. His stuff's getting clipped. I'm just saying, I don't care. If your stance all along has been he's been altering cards and messing with them, totally fine. But you don't get to benefit from him for years. And now all of a sudden, because he documented some stuff, which was stupid. Don't be a moron and document fixing cards. That's easy. Don't do that. But all these guys now who are condemning him, and most of them are big graders, you are full of crap. Full of it. Dude, these guys all benefited because he was helping them get better grades for their customers. It was a win-win. He was making a piece of money. Customers were getting better grades. The guys doing the grading had better stats. Everybody liked it. Now all of a sudden he's this bad guy. I just think it's bull crap. If this never comes out, we don't see any of these grading people or all these white knights come in and tell you how it's so terrible. Yeah, donuts, that's exactly what it is. It's a bunch of people just pretending that they weren't benefiting from him. Maybe you weren't, and that's fine. If you never used them, if you've always thought it's wrong and you want to come out and say that, I have no issue with it. But this thought that this was some new thing, the guy's been doing it for years. And quite frankly, with most of the people who use him, he has a great reputation. I'm not sure where all of a sudden everybody's just against the guy or whatever. Yeah, I guess they have to distance themselves, Pomeroy. I just think it's a joke. I just think it's spineless, man. Yeah, that's really the whole thing with that. And I'll be honest, I was kind of glad that he stepped up yesterday. Like I said, I asked him in that podcast. I said, "Dude, do you apologize at all for this?" He was pretty direct. I don't. I'm just not going to document it. We're talking about Louis. I don't know how you say his name. Molina. Waldman. Yes, he did. Absolutely, he had a great reputation. So, Waldman, I'll be honest. I don't know what your take on this is. If you haven't used him and you've been against him, fine. But almost everybody I know who was big into huge subs, a ton of guys sent to him. And it was never an issue until stuff started getting popped. I don't know Luis. I don't know how to say his name, so I really don't care about him that much. My issue is the bigger thing here of all of a sudden everybody's terrible. I just think it's funny. I do. I just think it's a joke. It's just, yeah, and Mike's exactly right. And again, I don't know what RNG thinks about it, but the point he just made, as soon as one person with some rep calls somebody else out, let's just pile up on him. Perfect. Why not? I can see comments on YouTube. I don't have that restream thing, so they don't all show up at once because I'm stupid. Donuts. That's the only reason they don't. I just thought it was funny yesterday. This guy just getting totally roasted. I didn't say he had a sterling reputation. He had a very good reputation, Waldman. People sent tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff to him. People that I know to be very trustworthy in the hobby. So clearly he had a pretty good rep, or you wouldn't be sending stuff to him. I mean, say what you want. If this doesn't come out the other day, this is never an issue that's being discussed, period. Having said that, if as a grader you decide, you know what, now that they are popping it, we can't use that guy's stuff, I respect that too. You have to protect your brand. If all of a sudden that is going to be something that they're going to pop, no problem, right? Don't use them. I just don't like the guys coming out now with this whole, yeah, Waldman, come on. Waldman, don't be a donkey. You know what I'm talking about. If you're sending stuff to a 17-year-old kid, you're a moron anyways. This was clearly a different situation. And he was very well known. I don't disagree with that either. It was absolutely his fault. You videotape yourself doing something like that, you're a clown. No question. I'm just saying he is one of the few people in this situation I actually think, at least to me, and I know I'm very much in the minority. Dude, he made no apologies about it yesterday on that podcast. I'm glad. I'll be honest with you. If you don't think you do anything wrong, just stand up and say it. Period. Now, if you're an absolute scumbag about stuff, outright scamming people, yeah, I saw he got booted from a couple rooms. That's fine. And again, I have no issue if you simply say, hey, because of what happened, we can't use them. Some rooms have done that. No problem. I just don't think I just think it's laughable that all of a sudden all these people are like, yeah, this is the worst thing for the hobby. This guy's, it's just funny. Yeah, we'll play some basketball. It'll be December in AC. Going to be awesome. Yeah, I got to find a way, Roth, to combine this, because I'll be honest, I keep saying I wasn't going to do it, but I do need to find a way. It's just that restream thing. My cousin Jesse will set it up. I'm just going to start doing the podcast thing. I'm not breaking much after this week. This will be my last week of really running the whole group, so I think anyways. So I am going to do that thing when we do the restream. One comment box, you can see it all, because there's a bunch of comments on YouTube. I can't read that well anyways, and there's a delay, which sucks between the two because YouTube is instant. That's one thing. Here's the other thing yesterday that came out. I don't see anybody now. I don't see anybody now saying anything about where's Gary V. There's another one of these situations. Everybody in the established guys in this hobby who are mostly full of crap, all they do is buy and flip cards, which is fine. There's a million people doing it. We just don't go public like everybody does. These guys who post a picture of their PayPal balance and all this bull crap, and they buy and sell cards, and they're hustling, and they're always whatever. Good for you. All of those guys come down on Gary V, and it happened again this week. I don't know if anybody saw. He held up 2 cards this week. Both have absolutely spiked. Update, Mookie Betts PSA 10s are more than double what they were a week ago. And Bird rookies have gone up about 25%. So I'm just going to tell you right now, you can keep playing this card where, outsiders don't belong in the hobby. They're just pumping stuff up. Yeah, Waldman, you're missing the point. Again, you are total Waldman. I love you. Josh is actually one of my actual friends, not just a Facebook friend. Waldman, you're missing the point. I'm not saying it's right or wrong with PSA. They have already said it's wrong. I'm saying you cannot benefit from a guy until something goes wrong, even though you knew all along what was happening, and then all of a sudden you're a scumbag because he does it. The Gary V thing, nothing gets me more worked up than this. We don't need him in the hobby. He's not. I have more of an influence. I've been doing this for 20 years. Let me just tell you right now, I don't know a single person in this hobby who has the pull Gary V has. If you can name me somebody in the hobby who can hold up a card and it jumps in value like that, I'm all ears, and I'll pump that guy up as much as I do Gary V. It doesn't happen. It's okay that we have been in a hobby longer than this guy, and he has 1,000 times more influence than we have. I've been in the hobby for 10 years too. There's some big dudes in here right now. Cohen is a huge name in the hobby. RNG is a big name in the hobby. I'm going to tell you right now, us three and Jameson Long's in here. Jameson Long, big pull in the hobby. We could all do the same thing. Hold up the same picture of a card, and guess what? It is going to have almost zero impact. That dude has been in the hobby for a year. He posts a picture. Boom, it blows up. I mean, what are we talking about? It's good for the hobby. If you don't like making money in the hobby because you think it's ethically and morally wrong, I guess I'm fine with that. I think you're behind on the times, but I guess that's okay. But if you make this, I'm not calling Leparo big in the hobby just because he has a bigger break room than me. He can suck it. There's going to be a geo blow up. I got to do something with my time. I'll design a doll. I'm not going to be break anymore. We got to find something to do. And I'm going to get big into I'll tell you right now, I'm going to get big into the single side of things now and have fun with it. I'm just going to tell you another thing. You see the dude hold up a card, buy them immediately. If you see an MLB player sign with his sports agency, buy the guy, invest. It's going to go well. I know we need to be, white. Oh, it's bad for the hobby, and we're great without him. We don't need him. I guess. I hope Mike Trout starts holding up cards too. Yeah, I do. I hope other people start doing things to make us more money. I'm all about it. But this thought that like somehow it's a pump and dump. Everything in the hobby is. When card values jump, everybody who's smart sells them. They dump the cards. When they go lower, we buy them back. Like, what are we talking about? I am mad I don't have his number. He texted me a couple times and I couldn't get a hold of him. I tried. Trust me. I sent him some provocative pictures. It didn't have any impact, Blake. So that's about it. I just, man, I have spent way too much time on Facebook in the last couple days. Yeah, Robert, I guess I think that's what he's doing, but I don't care. I still think, even if he's pumping it just to dump the product, I still think it's good for the hobby. Oh, Jameson, yeah, I know. I've been doing this for so many years. Everybody knows me. I'm better for it. Oh, my God. Yeah, it is laughable, Jameson. And those people, you know who I'm talking about. There's more than one, but yeah, that type of stuff is just total bull crap. I mean, let's just be honest. Judson Payne. Interesting what might happen when Phil Hughes runs his box war tournament with a. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, that's another thing to me that's good for the hobby. I've said this for a while, too. Phil Hughes is actually one of the only breakers I can actually watch, and I think he's fairly entertaining, and I don't think he's a total moron. I actually enjoy. I have no problem saying that. Phil Hughes, entertaining breaks. He's actually a little too much gimmick for me, so I'm not a huge fan of that. But overall, I think that guy's good for the hobby too. He's got a ton of pull. He's got a ton of following on Twitter and Instagram, wherever he does it. I have no problem with that either. I have no problem with most with breakers that do that. I mean, honestly, breakers like that guy, I actually think are very good for the hobby because they're bringing attention to the hobby. Yeah, see, I think he's okay. I actually enjoyed. I've watched a few of his breaks. I like him. Yeah, he's not as entertaining as I am, but. And quite, I'm not just saying that to be cocky. I do. I think I'm the most entertaining person on the breaking. Is it true? Probably not. But do I think it is? Absolutely. So I'm not going to change that stance. I thought he was pretty good. Brings a lot of publicity. I watched him break some Sapphire and some Sterling and stuff like that. I was good to go. I mean, I don't know. To me, he was actually pretty good. So the other thing, as far as announcements on this page, very, very close. Very, very close. Yeah, you post a picture of your mail day and it creates a whole buzz like Gary V, then we're good. Yep. Yeah, as far as announcements for the page, we have the contract just about done. We're talking to a freight company now to get we're talking to we've talked to the lawyer on both sides, the agreement, the value, everything is good to go. So I like that. We're good to go on that front. Talking to a freight company and try to get all this inventory sent out because that's going to be a bear. As soon as the buyer is ready, we're good to go. Yeah, as soon as that happens, we're good to go. He's obviously, it's his group now, so he's going to run. He's going to be the one to tell me when he wants to announce. I'm still going to break pretty regular during the transition for a few weeks, and even after that, I'm still going to break a little bit. So, sure, Jameson. Yeah, let's make the first number an 8 and make it a wire transfer, and we're good. Other than that, though, honestly, a lot is not going to change. I am going to finally spend some time and dial in the podcast thing. So this YouTube, everything just goes together on Restream. I know that's easy to do because there are some stupid people on Facebook who do it. I'm equally as dumb as they are. So I'm sure with a little help from my cousin who set everything else up, we can get that done. Yeah, that's about it. There's really nothing new to report there. I'm going to be breaking all week. We're going to start posting Optic PYTs tonight, which comes out tomorrow. We're going to have top Sterling. I think Sterling is going to be insane. I generally don't like it. 8,000. I feel like we're missing a lot of zeros, but maybe not. 88, still a few short. Yeah. What was it? Oh, top Sterling. In general, I'm not a huge fan of crazy high-end top stuff. I think Diamond Icons is trash. I will say, though, at least from the little bit I've seen, I think this is going to be Sterling better. Yeah, Sterling's better than Tier 1, but 2 boxes of Sterling, what is that, 80,000? Yeah, still missing, pal. Still missing. Oh, Roth, there we go. 800 I'd probably take, yeah. No, I think the direction of the page is going to kind of stay the course. I think it's going to be good. I'm still going to be involved. Pomeroy, he'll break everything. He's taken over the account. So, I mean, we're going to get everything in. I think he's going to focus more on football and basketball, though, which there's definitely a calling for in the group. Still going to have huge Bowman numbers because, I mean, he's getting a ton of Bowman from me. My inventory was huge with Bowman, not just this year, draft, everything. So, plenty of that to go around. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a huge drop-off there. Personality-wise, I think he's actually, as I like to say, he is not a drip. If I thought for a minute this was going to be some guy to come on here and, be loud and useless about something, I just wouldn't have included the page. You can sell the allocation and everything else, and I wouldn't have had to move the page. The name does not change as of now. Again, he can change it if he wants. If that happens, I mean, I'm not going anywhere else to break. No, it's not shifting away from baseball, though, Ben. Now there's going to be one, maybe two guys at times. Plus, I'm going to be helping with the page, with listing, with breaking down again. So, no, you can still reach out to me, Pomeroy. If you want to buy cases, let me know. Yeah, we're trying to get our spend up to a couple million this year. To me, $2 million is the goal. If we can have a $2 million spend this year when things really start getting tight, I think that really starts to put you over a level where your numbers are not getting hit as much. You kind of become one of those accounts that's going to consistently continue to get those numbers. So we're going to really try to push to do that. I think as long as the group responds well, which I think they will, if the group responds well and breaks are filling fast, there's just going to be more breaks to fill. I have other businesses going right now, so I've never been able to devote 5 or 6 days a week to this, and it's almost always just been me. That's not going to be the case anymore. Now you're going to have 2, maybe 3 guys, at least 2, because this guy's going to be full time. I'm going to be a day a week, 2 days a week, a day every 2 weeks, whatever it is. If things are going to fill and work well, we're going to be. Yeah, I'm shipping them blue Sharpies. Don't you worry about that, Benny. But if things work well, there should just be more content on the page, more breaks. Basketball, football. I haven't announced the name yet. Yeah, basketball, football. More of everything. In addition, the podcast is going to be not a daily thing, but multiple times a week. I just have fun doing this. I'll also be live to pump up the product that's going to be breaking. I've never really had time to do that because, again, we're just busy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's like crazy hard work because it's different. I come from a construction background. It's not that type of hard work, but you got to have time to sort, ship, deal with 80,000 stupid messages and then 5 probably decent messages. So, there will be call-ins. I did it yesterday. You can just call in when you use that restream thing. So that's fine. If somebody wants to come in and fight, I'm going to invite other breakers on too, because I would love to see, especially the guys we call out on a regular basis. If one of those had enough spine to join us, you can come in and pump up your name and talk about your group and what you're doing. I'll say this. I will always give somebody at least a platform to speak because I'm pretty direct with calling people out. I've had some reach out to me and ask me about it, and I always just tell them, oh, you fall into the lover category. Yeah, I've had guys reach out, hey, I think you were calling us out, whatever. I always tell them the same thing. It's never been a secret. If you feel like I'm calling you out for your business practices, you're more than welcome to come on and join us anytime. I'm never going to just call somebody out and not let them on here. Having said that, I'll tell you right. Yeah, I'm blocked in that room, Villani. I don't even know who those guys are. Having said that, if you come on here, this is not the most cordial environment. Even if the podcast picks up some steam and gets going, which I hope it does, I have no interest in having guys come on here and we just sit around high-five each other and talk about how the hobby is great and it's fun and we've been doing it since we were kids. Again, there are plenty of people who do that fluff and puff bullcrap stuff, which is fine. If people enjoy that, good for you. I personally don't have any interest in that. By the way, I'm going to say this. He's going to hate that I'm saying this. Vorva last night lined a card and donated $400. I thought that was awesome. Donated money to a good friend. I'm not going to say who it is because it's none of my business. But that was an awesome move, Vorva. I meant to tell you that. Very, very cool move. When it comes to the podcast, though, I don't. Even some of these guests, I've seen podcasts have like guys on from Panini. They've had Topps reps on. They've had other breakers on. Like, that's fine. But if it's boring, it's boring. Like, I don't, I just have no interest in having people come on here and I love this product and this one's great and everything's awesome and we love it. Yeah, I'm not saying any details more, but that was very, very cool of you. Awesome, awesome, generous. Oh yeah, hey, you know what? There you go. Sappy. I didn't know you were here, Sappy. Let me read this for you guys on YouTube. Joseph Robertson and Sappy Sports Cards. We used him for years. I stopped using him because I'm just too busy here to send to him. That's the only reason. I've never had an issue with him. I'll tell you right now, I had a Brady that was worth like $6,000 come back altered. Dude went to bat after hours for me. So that's one guy, I'll tell you right now, short of him murdering his whole family, I'm never gonna call out Robert Sappy for anything. He's just been good to me, and I have no issue with that. I'm totally biased. He's a group sub guy. For him, he had to remove Louis from his page, but he left it at that, didn't bash the guy. I am totally good with that. Quite frankly, if you're a grading guy and didn't remove him, I think you're foolish because it's going to cost your brand and your business. But yeah, Sappy's one of the few guys I didn't see go on there and bash him. So when it comes to that, Sappy Sports Cards, if you're looking for someone to grade, dude, walk stuff into BGS. He does PSA now. Check him out. I'm fine with pumping up people who I think are respectable. I just don't think there's that many respectable people. But when it comes to that, even something like that, most of you guys are in that group. When he goes live, he gets 100, 200 people. He's good people. Brew down the street from me, we've been using. I have Michael Hunter, Brew's Breaks. I think Brew's a good dude. I've known and been in business with Brew for years. Awesome guy. I'm fine having some people on the podcast once it actually gets up and rolling. We get the whole setup here. But yeah, aside from that, to me, there is not a single entertaining, and not that there has to be. Like, let's be honest, we're talking about baseball cards. I don't need a guy to go online and talk about baseball cards every day. I just don't think there's that much interesting news and breaking news that has to be discussed. Having said that, I'm yet to find one that I can sit down and listen to a podcast or a breaker or these interviews. They do them at nationals and they'll pump them out into like the GTS broadcast and all these other ones of other breakers. And again, quite frankly, it's just a bunch of breakers who are terrified. First of all, have no personality, total drips. I'm telling you right now, if you're a total drip when you break live on a camera and your job is to be entertaining, you're probably a drip in real life. Simple as that. I have no use for that. And also, not only do these people have no personality, but then it's just, hey, what do you think of this product? Oh, it's wonderful. What about this one? Oh, it's great. There are some trash products. It's okay to say that. Like, I don't feel like Topps is going to completely remove you from purchasing from them just because you say you think this product was garbage. So when it comes to that, I would like to get that up off the ground, get that rolling. I think it'd be fun to do. I don't mind having a guest on once or now and again. There's a couple I watch that actually have call-ins. I think it'd be kind of fun to have people call in if you have a specific question. Not that I'm any authority on the hobby. I'm not. I know a little bit more about the ins and outs of the hobby simply because. No, I didn't. That dude, Drew Herdone, I forget his name. I think it's called Hobby Hotline was the name of it. He had him on. I just called in. Having said that, I actually really like his take on stuff. Again, I like his setup. Let me say that. He has a couple people live, almost like a Zoom feed. People could call in. I'm fine with that. If you're gonna call in or be a part of it, you have to have something to say. So I'm all about having other breakers on. We have a ton of other breakers in the room. I have no issues with breakers. I just have an issue with most of them, how they present their product. I just think almost all other breakers, and that's not to say we're the best. We're just different. I'm just different. If you like that made up phony nonsense, well, people celebrating little stuff like that, cool. There's plenty of rooms that do that and get quick fills, so I'm not going to sit here and say they're doing it wrong. They're probably making a bunch of money like most of us are in the hobby. I just have no use. If you want to come on here and argue, though, and tell me why you think your way of breaking is better, dude, you could call me right now. I think it'd be great. If somebody actually had some backbone about it, perfect. Come on. We've done it before in the group, man. You are welcome to call. I'll put you on camera if I have to on Zoom, or I'll just put you on speakerphone, whatever it is. That restream thing was perfect because you can actually have the live feed, which I think is great. I'm all about that. And quite frankly, if you come off as entertaining and not as a clown like most other breakers, then I'm perfectly fine. Dude, I would put your name on my homepage. Dude, I have no problem with that. Like, have something to say, though. Or if you're a breaker, be entertaining. Even these guys who come in and poach people, I never mind the poaching. Now, I'm going to rip you apart afterwards because I think you're a clown business person. I don't ever mind the poaching, though, because I'll be honest with you. If you enjoy what happens in this room and then you go to one of these idiots who's poaching people and watch how they conduct themselves, again, not because it's better or worse, but there are very few people who are going to be entertained by what happens here and then go watch one of those drips or one of these disingenuous people. So that's why I don't view it as competition. And I'm sure they don't view me. If you're one of those dudes who does it like that, we're not competition. This is a different room. We're not adding people for break credit. Can we restream your live posts? Yeah, there's a way to do it, Sappy, and it's super easy to do. I just need to get Jesse, my cousin here. He works for Dell. He'll do the team viewer. He'll take over my computer. He would do this in 2 seconds. It would take me 6 weeks, and I would still screw it up. So by the end of the week, I think that's going to be the what I'm going to try to do. I'd like to have this just so I can be ready to roll, good to go, and ready to just break into it. Hopefully, starting next week. I'm pretty sure by next weekend, so a week from Friday, is when I'm hoping the new guy has the product ready to go, everything signed off and good. But like I said, this week I'll be live breaking the whole time with Optic. We got plenty of Bowman. We have Optic. We have Sterling. And something just happened. Dude, did Gavin Lux just get optioned out of L.A.? Oh, Waldman, are you still in here? Something just came across my news feed here on ESPN. Dude, did they just move Dodgers option Gavin Lux? I don't actually know what that means. I mean, he's not on the roster? Whoa. Restream, you pay the $20 subscription, you can add 3 platforms. That's awesome. That's exactly what we need. That's all I want, and add the call-in feature and add the feature where you can add other people either with a call or with the video. I'm fine with that. I think it'd be great. I don't own any more Bowman, sweet cheeks. That's all sold and part of the deal. Wow. What happened there? That's not, yeah, something's up with that. Not on the roster. Holy smokes, dude. Lux was going to be a stud this year. Speaking of studs, too, just real quick, this will be the last thing because I've been talking way too much. Someone just asked me this on YouTube. What's up, DC? Let me just say this, because this is another one of those things that is absolutely putrid. If anyone ever attempts to ask you for a star on Facebook Live now, I see these people with these worthless opinions like begging for stars so they can make money on this stuff. Oh, man. Just please let me know so I can just destroy them. Yeah, I wonder, does that mean he's going to get traded? And Seager's stuff got to be way, way up. I think that happened with Aquino, or it could be an option for the contract. Wow, that's wild, huh? I'll tell you one dude I was totally wrong on, by the way. Louis Robert, I said, was not going to hit for power. After talking to some of those scouts, I had a couple buddies in Chicago. They had the same thing, like, hey, this dude can't hit for power against big league pitching. I'll tell you right now, dude, Louis Robert is the real deal. Good. That is – I was watching somebody live last night, and every 20 seconds they were like, hey, make sure you drop a star. Oh, my God. Just find traffic to play on. Series 2 is skyrocketing. Wow. That's wild. I didn't know about that. Or it could be maybe it's a contract thing. I have no idea. I got to read up on that, man. Shoot. Lux is big time. Yeah, better. Yeah, exactly. The next picture you see, it's just Gary Vee holding up the card. It's Gavin Lux. Eloy's already a killer, though. Yeah, Eloy already. I mean, Eloy did that last year. That's crazy. Option for minors is all not off the team. Okay. Yeah, Eloy's totally legit. Eloy's a stud. He was a stud last year. He just got no hobby love. Robert, though, I think can hit too. Yeah, it doesn't make a career, but I'll tell you what, it's hard to not look at that dude and think this kid can play. I'll tell you the other guy for the Mariners, Jared Kelenic. That dude has a wicked bat. That White Sox lineup is scary. One of two things is going to happen, too, with upcoming product. 2020 Topps update is either going to have every one of these guys in it, all these dudes who have been called up and are on the taxi rosters, and 2020 update is going to be unbelievably expensive, or it's going to be a situation where 2021 Series 1 is just going to be, at some point, all these dudes could, because if they're on a roster in general, that's the year they have that rookie eligibility year with Topps. One of those two products, I have a feeling, or both if they split them, is just going to be stupid. Why is Series 2? Oh, Series 2 because Robert. Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I still don't like Series 2. Series 2 is, I mean, who else here's my problem with Series 2. It's already a little bit more expensive. It's on par with like 18, some of these other products, and I don't know why. You have one guy in it. One guy is tough. Yeah, one guy to me, is rough. It's Robert or bust. I mean, there's not even a second option. There is no one else. Yeah, Vlad, I question the commitment. I struggle with guys who show up out of shape. You know who I've actually been buying up recently, bought up some nice stuff of, is Jordan. I think Jordan is going to have a bounce-back season. He's struggled, but, Glaber's another guy. Dude hits 40 home runs in New York. His prices are lower than half these prospects we've never seen. There's a disconnect there. I mean, if Glaber gets some publicity, I can never say that word. Less than 1,000 for a hobby case isn't bad. I just don't like it. Yeah, DC, I love Kalenic. I like J-Rod too. And they say now with J-Rod, that wrist injury isn't as gruesome as everybody made it out to be. 6 to 8 week corrective surgery already happened. I think he's going to be back. I don't know if he's going to play this year, but Garrison Ohtani was my big offseason buy. He was up there with my big offseason people. I love Ohtani because I think he's going to pitch and I think he's going to hit this year. And I think there's going to be that buzz. I know everybody's caught up on Dominguez, the Martian, but I'll tell you right now, dude, the Ohtani buzz at the time in 2018 was as big as anything Jason's been. So Moncada can play. Absolutely. Yeah, Mookie rookies doubled. The dude held up a card. Gary V holds it up. It sells. Yep. Same thing with Bird last week. I'll be interested to see what he does during football season, especially. I know he's a big-time Jets fan. I think he's a part owner in the Jets. I mean, he's not Jet. Calm down. Ohtani's not sporting my arms, but he's all right. No, I think Ohtani's going to explode. I still think that team's crap because they can't pitch. Devers is another guy. Devers, if you had an MVP for the second half of the season last year, it was Devers. Look what he did last year. I mean, honestly, too, if Devers was on a team that was legit in the playoff hunt last year, he would have been the MVP last year. Trout won it, which is such a freaking joke anyways. Trout's the best player in baseball. That's fine. Trout has no business being the MVP if your team's not making the playoffs. Devers last year batted .311, 115 RBIs, 32 home runs, OPS 361, OBS 361, OPS of 916, 129 hits, 201 runs. I'm telling you right now, if that dude was on a winning team last year, a competitive team in the playoffs, that's your MVP. Quite frankly, I thought Bregman should have won it anyways. And now that Mookie's gone, it'll be interesting. Does Devers step up and fill the gap, or does he kind of, fade off with the other people? Is it too much of a spotlight for him? But yeah, if you're looking for Devers, 2018 top series 1 is Devers. That's a super cheap product. I mean, that's a product right now. We're talking about 2020 because Robert's in it. 2020 top series 1 right now on blowout. You can get a jumbo case for $1,100. That is not terrible. That really is not terrible. So, all right, that's enough. We're rattling. I'm literally looking up stuff on blowout now. Useless. On the page today, we're posting 2019 Bowman Draft. Probably do a PYT and a random teams break. We'll have that going as soon as there's a checklist released for either, which actually I'm pretty sure Sterling is out. Top Sterling, I think I'm going to do I think for Sterling, we're just going to do serial number breaks. I think that's an expensive product. I don't feel like murdering guys. We could do random teams by the box at like $30 a pop, though. We'll do some of those one-box breaks. I'll have some of those for personals, too. They're stupid expensive, but if anybody wants it, I don't think the checklist is out yet for Optic. Oh, I agree, Owens. Yeah, honestly, why mess with the stock market right now? I mean, there was a couple good buys a month ago. Right now, just buy baseball cards. I think NBA is the way to go right now, and I think a month from now you start loading up on football. But to me, just buy premium brands of guys who are going to be in the playoffs, and then just sit back and wait. I mean, even Zion. People are saying how big Zion stuff has gotten. To put in comparison, Zion PSA 10 silvers are $1,000 cheaper than Lucas still. I'm not so sure the Pelicans don't go just as far in the playoffs as the Mavericks do. And if that happens, man, Zion stuff is going to go absolutely through the roof. I mean, just insane. So to me, I still think basketball is where it's at. I think AD is a good buy. Jimmy Butler's a dude who is totally forgotten. I think the Heat are going to be wicked competitive in the East. I think he's a good buy. Siakam, I'm on the fence about because I don't know if he's a legit playoff scorer, so he makes me nervous. But Tatum's still, to me, the number one buy in basketball. Yeah, I'm not arguing player-wise. Right now, Luke is much better player, totally more complete game than Zion. But if Zion goes nuts and starts going for 30 with some highlight dunks, I think market level-wise, like in the hobby, actual price-wise, I think he's going to be right on par with Luka soon. Would I be dumb to move my ML? Jeff, to me, you wait a week. Wait a couple weeks. Let those dudes start playing, then I would sell them off. Yeah, especially Tatis. I mean, Tatis coming off, hasn't played in 7 months. So Mahomes, I don't love. I don't know how much higher Mahomes goes. I think Lamar Jackson is a great buy in football right now. I think Lamar Jackson, I don't know if he's going to be a winner, but I think Lamar Jackson is going to have look what he did last year. Nobody came close to figuring him out. And the spotlight just got too big for him in the playoffs. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a monster regular season, and I think his stuff's going to explode. So, yeah, Lamar Jackson. I think Kyler Murray's going to be money next year. 20. I mean, Prism, it's hard to argue with Prism. Mosaic is starting to climb again, though, which I like because I think Mosaic's a way better-looking product. So, yeah, Tatis was nuts. He got injured, and immediately his stuff jacked up. I sold his blue PSA, his blue 9510 auto when he got injured like a week before, and it was $1,800, top of the market. Now it's $3,500. Do not sell Gleyber Torres right now, Battaglia. Do not sell him. The Yankees are going to crush. That is murderer's row if they're healthy. Gleyber has a proven record of hitting. Dude, don't sell Gleyber. Those are going to be $200. His cards a month from now, his PSA 10 18 updates are going to be $200 in a month, just like Acuna's are right now. Acuna's going to be $300. Soto's going to be $2. Ohtani just doubled. Ohtani were $50, 2-3 weeks ago. Now they're $100 a whack. That paper chase, the paper thing is not going anywhere because the paper chase is still the guys who can't afford the chrome and all the stupid expensive money. Yeah. Oh, Dio, I'm with you. I think Lamar stuff just takes off and goes through the roof. I do. I think Lamar is a great because again, we're talking regular season. I don't know why. I don't know what he does to struggle. I think he's got. I mean, look at the steps he made last year. Everybody talks about his running ability. He had the most touchdown passes from the pocket last year in the regular season. Lamar can play. I actually think Baker might be a good buy. That sophomore slump is legit for a lot of guys. I do wonder what Baker does. Trubisky cards I would just burn. I would have done that a while ago. So, but yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'll keep everybody posted. We'll have some breaks going up in a couple hours on the page. I'll have some more info as soon as this whole thing gets signed off on. Legally, everything is done, and the buyer wants to announce. We'll start announcing. So I bought 5 of his PSA 10 Tatum optics, and then I bought his blue Prism for like $4,200 or $4,100. I bought a silver Prism 9.5 as well. I'm big time in on Tatum. So what's up, Harper? Yeah, I will definitely get back to you here this afternoon. Warren, KWJ. I'm interested. I like all that stuff you sent pictures of. So. Anyway, as soon as that information is available and he wants to announce, we'll announce it. We'll get it going. We'll be in on it with this whole sale and all that. But as soon as we can, we will. The podcast thing I'm going to try to look into and get done as quickly as I can. I think Justin Bosick he does that stuff too. I may reach out to him. I want to get the restream thing going, have a little fun with that. So Yeah, whatever. There you go. I've wasted enough of everybody's time. Sheesh. Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm going to post this. Like I said, it'll be on YouTube now, too. Hopefully. Later, DC. Fry, DC. Donuts. Appreciate you guys jumping in over there on Pomeroy, you too, on YouTube. The restream thing will be awesome. It just combines the chat. It'll be great. So hopefully that'll be the direction in the next day. Maybe even by tomorrow. I'll call him right now and see what happens. So, yeah, Watson. Yeah. No thanks. I'm good on Deshaun Watson. I agree with you there. All right, fellas, appreciate it. I'm going to sign off. YouTube. Later, guys. And I will end the Facebook feed.